So, hi everyone. Welcome to a very special edition of the CXM interview, the first interview session we host this year. My name is Vanessa, and I'm a lead editor at CXM. Together with Alexander Ilic, the head of CXM and regional manager at Awards International, we'll host a very unique conversation today with two impressive leaders. Niels Skehel, CEO of Awards International, and Borislav Lojpur, Managing Director of Awards International in Serbia. A very warm welcome and thank you for being with us today. So Awards International celebrates its 14th anniversary this year and 7 years of establishing the company in Serbia. This was a reason for us to get there and talk to Borislav and Neil about their business journey. So Alexander, you have a long history in the company as well, and you went through many challenges together with Borislav and Neil. And therefore, I want to invite you to start this conversation, and I will follow up with some questions that I prepare for our guests as well.
Thank you, Vanessa. I'll start with Neil. If you can tell us your story and how did it all begin with the company in Serbia?
Sure. It's actually interesting. Look at where we all are. Look at this. I'm in a hotel room in Dubai. You're in your apartment in Dubai. Boris is at home and he still hasn't taken the Christmas tree down. But I guess it's only just Christmas there. And I think Vanessa's in Belgrade. And of course, I live in England. I live in the UK. And really, that's kind of the story of our company. We have grown from 2008. We set up the company, me and Don Hales, and in an office in Stevenage with a couple of help people, Andrew and a couple of other people helping us to try and get going. And between 2009 and 2014, we relied heavily on people actually in Serbia, mostly for websites and for the early version of our software. And in that whole time, we probably had 6 different people work for us at different times. Dragan Vuletic being one of them, and some other people whose names I can't remember. We had a Maria who was a graphic designer. But anyway, come 2014, we had 2 guys, Branko Stankovic and Borislav Lojpur, working for us on websites in Serbia. And we invited them to come to London to see what our events were like. Cut a long story short, they weren't allowed to come. They couldn't get visas because, it was the early days of the company and we were operating informally. And so Boris and Branko were disappointed. But the secret to getting Boris visas and Branko visas was to get a company to employ people, pay taxes, pay wages, get it all done formally. So that's what we did. Boris was really up for it. And I went over for the first time ever to meet people from Serbia. We've been working for them since 2008, 9 to 14. I went over to Serbia to meet someone for the first time in 2014, November 2014. And Boris and I began the process of setting up a company in Serbia. And look, we took it slowly, but despite coronavirus, we've got 40 people working for us or thereabouts in Serbia now. And wow, what a journey it's been.
Thank you, Neil. Now I'll get to Boris now, and I want to ask you, how do you feel looking back at how it started and where we are now? Did you ever think we'd come this far?
I believe so, yeah. I mean, just not to be too modest, but we did plan even then in 2015. I remember we actually got an agency to help us to write a business plan. And the most of the business plan was about actually the year 2020 when it was Expo in Dubai. And we planned to be big for that event. We actually went to see Milan Expo in 2015. So we kind of tailored our plans around 2020. And obviously what happened, actually Dubai had to move it a year, so they didn't do it in 2020, they did it in 2021. So a lot of companies changed their plans, but I think we're there where we wanted to be in 2015, thereabouts, yeah. But well, the plans probably were different, as Neil mentioned at the beginning. We were web developers. The talk about the applications and the websites were more around than the sales and the marketing and everything that we do now. So we probably shift those plans a bit, change it. But I think, yeah, I think the size and the way we have 50 people, more than 50, not 40. So we've never been that big. And I think we managed to get the plans slightly different from what we thought in 2015, but still a great success.
Thank you, Boris. Now, some fun facts. You already mentioned the number of employees. We have been going up and down, and usually it was around up to 20 employees, 25 in Serbia, but now we've got to over 50 employees. We have a whole entire sales team based in Belgrade. All our events are organized with the help of how we call ourselves, the Dream Team, most of who are based in Serbia. And we operate in a number of different markets. So obviously we started in UK, and that's where our base is, but we are also based in Dubai, where I am based, and we operate all golf events there. We have international events in Amsterdam, in Turkey, now we started European and USA events, and we're planning to launch a new event to cover the Asian market. So it's pretty exciting times for us. Now back to you, Vanessa.
Yeah, definitely. So thank you, Alexander, for adding this comment. So this is obviously an enormous success, and there's a lot of hard work behind all of this. And this wouldn't be possible without hardworking employees, the dreamers, as you like to call us. I'm part of the team as well. So, however, running a fast-growing company can come as a challenge. So, Borislav, I would like you to comment shortly on the international or cross-cultural aspect of running a company, and what does it really mean to bring people from diverse backgrounds, both professionally and culturally, together and create this common vision?
Well, as Neil said, it's interesting. We started in my mom's house, 2015, and we're still registered there. I think that's a bit of a memory that we want to keep, where we started, and we're still there. The main office is in Zrenjanin. But then we expanded to Belgrade, to other parts of Serbia. And I have to thank Neil for that, mostly, because he was the one who wanted to explore Serbia. He was the one who wanted to go to Vranje and Niš and other parts of Serbia, not just Belgrade. And you can actually see now that big companies are open. Big IT companies are opening in Niš, and we've been there for 4 years. And so, yeah, there's different cultures. But what is mostly beneficial for everyone here in the team is actually working with different cultures. I think when I started working with UK people, it was just sometimes frightening. You hear accents, you think you know English, and you started hearing them talking between themselves, and you just lose it. So and that's where I picked some
you just nod.
Irish.
Just nod.
Yeah, that's where I picked some Irish accents, and still people when they listen to me, they think that I have an accent. We just got a girl from South Africa just joined us. She's a Serbian lady born in and lived in South Africa, but mostly that the experience that people working in our company they get from working with the UK people, with Arab countries, with people from Middle East, from Asia, from US now, is what makes what makes them better employees, better at their jobs. So I think, yeah, that's the, I don't know if I answered your question, but I think we're expanding. We're going to different countries. Alexander just said he's in Dubai. Vuk will go to America. I bet soon some other people will go some other places. And that's an enormous experience for everyone who joins the company.
Sure, definitely. I think this international aspect of the company makes it also a desirable place to work, and challenging and interesting for all of us. I agree completely. So let us stay a bit in this employee experience arena for a moment, because I know that two of you are working a lot in this field. So Neil, last year in November, actually hosted a keynote speech at the HRV conference, and you talked about employee experience. So I want to hear from you, how does this play out and manifest in towards international? So what does employee experience mean for you and the employees here?
Yeah, thank you for the question, Vanessa. I think the previous question has a significant bearing on the answer to this question, which is that whilst I would aspire to have an engaged, completely engaged, motivated, rewarded workforce, one of the complexities is culture. And we don't just employ people in Eastern Europe. We work with people from all over the world for different reasons. We're not a big company. We're not a huge company, not yet. We're actually still quite a small company. So when you talk about, like at the beginning, you talk about our growth, a success story. Sure. It's a success in the sense that we have grown. We have definitely grown, and but I want to do much more for our employees, and actually for our customers. And if you said to me, who's first, I would say, well, the company, largely, I think of the company in terms of creating a meaningful career for its employees. And I actually, dare I say it, I actually place that as being right at the heart of what I'm trying to achieve, what I'm trying to achieve. So I don't think I always achieve that. In fact, I'm probably one of the worst people in the world for doing that. But that doesn't mean I can't want it and that doesn't mean I can't do something about it. So one of the things that we aim to do is to deliver fabulous career opportunities for the dream team. In 2018, I want to say 18 or 19, we had a party on June the 21st in Zrenjanin, and at Midsummer's Day, we hired a swimming pool. Everybody was there, and we launched Dream Team, Dream Time. First of all, it must have been 2019. I mean, it must have been then, because that's the time when we started thinking about us being this dream team. And for me, that was about what you recognize is what you get. If you fake it until you make it, we might not have been the dream team, but let's talk it up. Let's talk this up. Let's remind people of the opportunities that we offer. And Dream Time was, here's a dream team. Now let's create something to dream about. And I think it was probably not far off that time that we were talking about Alexander going and living and working in Dubai. So lived in Serbia, in Niš, lovely city, but quite different from Dubai, and a unique opportunity. And we were able to do that, and we have been able to do that. And I thought, well, our goal, as our mission, our vision as a company is to grow into many different markets with the CX Awards in many different markets. And what better way to do that than to be led by our Serbian team? So Dream Team, that's who you are, it's who we are. And the Dream Time it's an opportunity for you to go and, maybe set up a company in different countries around the world. And so that's not the only way of thinking about it, though. We have a management team, Stevan, Ivana, Boris, Davide, Alexander, all of whom we have, I'd like to think they have considerable amount of what I would call skin in the game. They really feel that we have invested in them, and they have been rewarded and in line with their investment. And they have, because they have been such exceptional people for the company has tried to reward them way in excess of probably what it could get away with doing, whether that be helping somebody with cars, whether that help be with their salaries, whether that be with other things in their life, or going and living in new countries. So that's part of, for me, the Dream Team vision. But obviously, it's not just for people who want to go and live and work abroad. I mean, coming back to Ivana's got a family. Boris has now got a family in Belgrade with Mariana and Sunčica. So, they aren't going to necessarily be inspired by the opportunity to go and, run a company in Delhi or something like that. But they're going to be, they're going to need other things. And I recognize that. So, yeah, but I think the Dream Team is about really trying to focus on what it means to do a good job. Now, I think, I could talk about this for quite a long time. I think the challenge you have is in some markets, in some parts of the world, the workforce is very mature. In the UK, perhaps in the US, I don't know, probably, and the employment market has changed. The employment market in the UK is one where we're no longer highly unionized. We're no longer besotted with the responsibility of the employer to teach the employee absolutely everything. Where we're encouraging employees more and more to take ownership of their own career, where they take ownership of their own personal development. And that brings with it a different landscape, but it means that you can get on with the job. So I think in that sense, I think that there's a difference between perhaps the newer economies than the some of the older economies, if that's a plausible term. But nonetheless, I think the employee experience is extremely important to us, and we're going to continue to work harder and harder on that. One of the things I think that's really vital to employee experience is communication, and we recognise that communication isn't necessarily one of our strengths. So I was talking to Mariana Vitas Lojpur, who was on maternity leave, and we're talking about her coming back to work and how we could play to her strengths. And Mariana has always been very good at communication, and so we created a internal communication role with a view to reinforcing the Dream Team message, but also improving communication amongst the employees, amongst our Dream Team, about the employee experience. So reinforcing the positives. And so it's just one of a number of steps that we're taking, and we're going to take many more, whether that be more opportunities like the event that Boris and Mariana organized in December. They did our first award ceremony. We've not had internal award ceremony. We've not had the opportunity to go to visit awards in different countries. So Boris and Mariana organized internal awards for 2021. We had a party with everybody came to the party in Niš, and many people won an award. So they all wore bow ties and they had an experience like our customers get, which really made a huge difference. Some people had no idea what it's like to participate in that process. But and more to come.
Excellent. So thank you, Neil, for providing us with this insightful perspective on the employee experience. And maybe I can just break it down to 3 aspects of it. So it's like really giving the ownership to employees, deep listening to the needs. What is that you want? And then allowing employees to craft their careers as they want it. So I don't know, Borislav, if you want to add something to it.
Well, I think, yeah, Neil is absolutely right. Different people are motivated by different things. And I think what we're trying to do here is to listen and provide opportunity. And I'm an example, if no one else, about the opportunity that Neil gave me in 2014-15, and I'm really happy. I'm happy with the position. I'm happy with the achievements. There's always some stuff that you planned and you want to do, but you still haven't done it. But that still motivates you. And one of the biggest goals for me for 2022 is finally to get Awards International an application that we can use and sell to get different customers. So not just events. So, but that motivates me. We try to listen to other people and see what motivates them, and try to support them with their dreams. And that's why we call it Dream Team. So Dream Times comes from it. But what I told everyone actually who I spoke with, who joined us, is that their individual performance in a small company and in this company is probably the most important. But now when I see it, it's actually the team. It's not just individuals. It's the teams that's built around that individual. That's the smaller the teams, like the marketing team, the sales team, the web team, and then the whole team. None of us would succeed without those teams around them. And I think Alexander can justify that. I mean, anyone, Vuk with his results, and that's individual performance, but that's teams around those people that they motivate to work together towards that goal. But I think there's more and more important, and as we grow larger, it will be more and more important to create a team atmosphere in this company. And that's what I believe the Dream Team, Dream Time is actually all about.
Thank you, Boris. And now we will conclude with something Vanessa and I like to call rapid fire questions. So those are quick questions and they require quick answers. So they go to both Neil and you, Boris. We'll start with Neil. So the most important leadership lesson you learned after 14 years of growing a business and 7 years of being in Serbia.
So quick answer. There isn't one most important thing, but prepare to fail, fail to plan, prepare to fail. I mean, that isn't a employee experience or a customer experience message. That is one of the most important things in business. It's not a concept. Yeah.
Thank you. And Boris?
I don't have that many experience, but I would say, yeah, planning definitely, and believing in what you do.
Oh, that's good. Thank you. And the second question, we'll start with Boris. The message to our dreamers.
I would say dream big, but whatever you want for yourself, this company will be behind you to support you to do it.
Thank you. And Neil? Message for dreamers. When I look at what makes for personal success, I think I was just reading a post by one of our customers on LinkedIn this morning and digesting it, and he nailed it. And he talked about success is nailing the how. And if I look at people who are making progress,
they are nailing the how. What does that mean? It means they're getting stuff done. They're not going around in circles. They're plotting, they're going in a meaningful direction. They are making progress on their goals. They're not getting distracted, they're focused. So nail the how. And that for me is one of the biggest differences between the winners and the also rans.
Thank you. Thank you, Neil. Thank you both for doing this.
This was a great conversation. So thank you again. And thank you to our colleagues also from Awards International. So Customer Experience Magazine will definitely continue tracking your progress and writing about it.
Yeah. Thank you,
happy
Vanessa.
birthday
Thanks.
to Awards International.
Yes, indeed. Happy birthday to Awards International DOO. So it's important that people understand that Awards International DOO is not the same as Awards International UK. Awards International UK is, what, 12 years old? And we started Awards International DEO in 2015. So it's
14.
It's a bit younger.
I think.
Yeah. Whew, 14.
Thanks for organizing this, guys. Thanks.
You know, thanks. It's flattering.
Yeah, it feels good.